And we have breaking news right now. Southwest Airlines is ending its open seating policy.
Southwest will soon be charging you for bags. The move comes as Southwest got rid of another tradition, open seating.
A major player in the American travel market, Southwest Airlines has been undergoing a notable transformation. It began in the past few months but is sure to continue for the next few years. It could be argued that Southwest needed something to change. Since the pandemic, Southwest was said to have lagged behind its competitors in financial performance, and by late October 2024, its share price was down 50% compared to 2021. Spearheading the airline's turnaround appears to be activist hedge fund Elliott Management, who owned an 11% stake in the now $19 billion airline and was recently cleared to own up to 19.9% in the carrier. Elliott Management has been working behind the scenes to enact significant changes at Southwest, including the airline's leadership, in the hopes that new strategies and directions will make the airline more profitable. It can be argued that such changes will kill the Southwest Airlines that customers have known and grown to love, clearing the way for a new Southwest. We take a look at all the changes taking place at the carrier in today's video. According to Fortune, it was Elliott Management that launched an aggressive campaign earlier in 2024 to push out CEO Bob Jordan, as well as chairman and former CEO Gary Kelly. The hedge fund and airline stakeholder also moved to replace half of Southwest's board. Elliott was doing this with the belief that the company leadership was too entrenched in the airline's existing operating and pricing model to make changes which would boost revenue. On this topic, the firm stated, Southwest's rigid commitment to a decades-old approach has inhibited its ability to compete in the modern airline industry. Southwest caved to Elliott Management's pressure and agreed to take on 6 new board members, 5 of whom were Elliott nominees. This included former CEOs from Virgin America and WestJet. The leadership shakeup led to Gary Kelly, who had led Southwest for 18 years, retiring earlier than previously planned. Bob Jordan, however, a 30-year company veteran, managed to hold on to his job, which he has held since 2022. So, what's actually changing about Southwest? Well, Southwest-operated flights currently have open seating, a fairly unique offering in the industry. As the airline explains it, once on board, passengers can simply choose any available seat and stow your carry-on items in the overhead bin. Passengers have various ways to board earlier, including paying for early bird check-in. However, the open seating approach has led to a fascinating culture of travelers doing their best to take advantage of the system. Jetway Jesus was one such phenomenon. As explained by wheelchairtravel.org, it's been a long-running joke among airline flight crews and frequent flyers that Jetway Jesus is said to heal passengers who request wheelchair access at their point of departure but abandon it on arrival. The website explains that such airline passengers are accused of faking a disability to enjoy the privileges of pre-boarding and preferential treatment at TSA security checkpoints. There have been other reports of travelers doing their best to discourage other passengers from sitting in adjacent seats. This may include putting used tissue paper on seats or spreading out and overall looking like an unattractive and undesirable person to sit next to. On the opposite side of things, there have also been reports of creepy travelers choosing to sit next to someone they find attractive, even when better seats are available. With these things in mind, perhaps some will welcome the end of this particular policy. After all, assigned seating is coming to Southwest. The airline on its website states, "We have conducted extensive research on our open seating model, which has led to our decision to move to assigned seats and bring options for a premium/extra legroom experience, with bookings expected to start in the second half of 2025 for flights operating in 2026. There will be a period of time where we are retrofitting aircraft with our new cabin design, and during that time, we'll maintain our open seating model." Much more recently, it was announced that Southwest would be ending its free checked bag policy in May 2025. Historically, travelers have been allowed 2 free checked bags. As a leisure-focused perk, golf bags and skis counted in a passenger's free checked bag allowance if they were within the weight limit. The coming elimination of this allowance has left many customers unhappy. "It was the only reason I flew Southwest," one traveller told CNBC. The media outlet frames the historic change like this: "The bag policy had been around longer than most women were able to get credit cards on their own without a man's signature. But those days are over. No more freebies, America." As Fortune explains, Southwest's competitors have taken away much of the airline's market share by offering basic economy seats and cutting into the carrier's no-frills strategy. As one analyst puts it, the airline is flooding the price-conscious traveller space with additional seats within their existing networks, with major airlines innovating with the fare segmentation strategies in a way that Southwest has not. But not all Southwest Airlines changes are apparent negatives. Indeed, the airline is officially going to be operating Redeye flights, allowing for new scheduling and frequency opportunities. The airline said this about the new change in a statement: "While Redeye flights will make up a small portion of Southwest's overall schedule, they bring additional connectivity and more itineraries to transcontinental and Hawaii markets. As an example, Southwest will offer Honolulu to Las Vegas in April, and this one Redeye flight increases the number of itineraries the airline can offer customers by 50% as they connect to other parts of the network." Getting back to an article by Fortune, an analyst asserts that Southwest leaders, quote, "created and presided over a culture that relied too heavily on past success and failed to prioritize innovation." In this person's opinion, this is what has led to the airline's failure to innovate and keep up with the times. So, with all of these changes, the Southwest Airlines that passengers have known and loved for the past few decades, the one that offered open seating and free checked bags, will die and make room for a new Southwest, which is hoped to be more profitable. Will the airline keep its $0 change and cancellation fee pricing? There hasn't been any news on these fronts just yet. An Inc.com article says that it's the end of what made Southwest great in the first place, arguing that its quote-unquote loss leaders attracted customers and developed long-term loyalty. Loss leaders, defined as products sold at a loss to attract customers, have certainly left their mark on American culture in particular. Inc.com references the fact that Costco has been selling rotisserie chickens at a cost of $4.99 for the past quarter century. Its $1.50 hot dogs have also been quite iconic. And so, without quote-unquote freebies offered by Southwest, will passengers still choose the airline? Well, many media outlets have been asking this question in their headlines and articles, wondering if such changes will lead to customer revolt. At the end of the day, it just means Southwest will be competing on other things, while potentially earning more revenue. Perhaps it'll stand out from other carriers by having a better customer service experience, or maybe its scheduling and unique routing will allow it to grow market share. Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see how all of these changes pan out for Southwest. But what do you think? Will the airline's end to free checked bags and open seating drive away loyal customers? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.